already been decided since Andy Dalton came on because he was promised he was going to be the starter.
Because they
He
put
was
it on
promised he was
Instagram
going to
and
be a
called him
starter.
QB1.
Exactly, QB1. That's why everybody's frustrated about it. It's from day one, before they even got Justin Fields, it was promised, and it seems like Matt Nagy. And look, I get it. I could care less who starts, but it seems like Matt Nagy is stuck and saying, well, I promised this to Andy Dalton, so now I have to follow through, and he's building this whole case for it. That's what it feels like.
He's given himself so many outs, though. Like, if he wanted to go to Justin Fields, he could. Something tells me they've seen something in him that tells them they are not ready, and that is a good coaching decision, Key.
I don't know if it's a good coaching decision or not, Shay, but what I do know is that Andy Dalton in week 1 probably gives them the best chance to succeed in week 1, but doesn't mean in week 2, 3, 4, 5, and thereon that Justin Fields doesn't take over. When you have a veteran guy like that and a young quarterback, it's okay to start the veteran guy until you really feel comfortable with the young guy. Now, Jay's original question to you was, who's better? It's simple. Justin Fields is better. But I'm willing to, as a veteran player in that locker room, give Andy Dalton an opportunity to see where he can go, but I'm not willing to wait 10 weeks to see what it is. I'll know quick, fast, in a hurry in game, because sometimes a guy in a game is way different than he is in practice or in the preseason. Either good or bad. I played with a quarterback when the lights came on, when they heard that boom, zah, they was a different person. In the boardroom, oh, they can get on the board and tell you where to go and check out the plays. But when he got on the field, he couldn't remember what yesterday was. So it's kind of like, I understand where Matt Nagy's going, but he has to make a decision sooner rather than later on the future of Justin Fields this year. Can't hold on to him for next year.
You're going to find out pretty quick in that first game against the Rams.
Yeah, you will find out really quick. Look, I remember with the Deshaun Watson situation in Texas with the Texans, like when they had Tom Savage as their starting quarterback.
It's like, what are you doing?
It was Bill O'Brien, Tom Savage, starting quarterback. Okay,
Bill
well, that's what,
O'Brien.
and same thing. I'm like, well, maybe there's something that Deshaun Watson hasn't totally picked up the playbook, or he doesn't know the speed of the game, or
2 weeks in.
2 weeks, 2 quarters. Didn't he come in the
two quarters?
Yeah. I'm like, I think the third quarter they ran out Deshaun Watson, and like, I don't even know where Tom Savage is now, but I do know that situation is plausible when facing the Rams, and I feel like Matt Nagy's kind of given some outs here or there to prove that.
When you watch Andy Dalton with the Cowboys and the offensive line was depleted, he struggled. He struggled to maneuver in the pocket and get out and escape pressure. Chicago doesn't have a great offensive line.
Thank you.
So you're going to watch the same thing again. You're going to watch the same story again.
Well, look, Jay, Andy Dalton is not Justin Fields in terms of athleticism and being able to run. But Andy Dalton can get out of harm's way. And I understand the young man that just called in from Maryland said that he saw Andy Dalton because he was a Dallas Cowboy fan. Don't judge Andy Dalton based on Dallas.
I hear you.
Again, I'm willing to, out of 17 games, give my head coaches a game or two to see what Andy Dalton is in the regular season with us. But he's got to know that if it's not going good, it's time to move on.
Yeah, I mean, let's just state the facts about Andy Dalton. 3 years ago, Dalton was 25th in the NFL in passer rating. Then 2 years ago, he was second to last. Last year in 2020, he was 25th in the NFL in passer rating. He's not a great passer. Like, he's not a great quarterback. He's aging. But what he is a veteran.
But think about it, though,
Shay,
Shay, though. Let's be fair. Let's be fair here. When you go back to Cincinnati 2 years ago, there was no A.J. Green.
He was hurt.
John Ross was... they drafted John. They wasted a pick on him. He's now a Giant. So when you start to really break it down, that tenure in Cincinnati at the end was hot garbage.
I mean, without a doubt.
And then when you look at the Dallas situation, you can't. Me and you and Jay couldn't win in that situation at all.
I'm with you. I totally agree with you. That's why I think he is a very capable placeholder until they feel Justin Fields is ready. Again, if they put in Justin Fields too early, that falls directly back on Matt Nagy. If heaven forbid he gets hurt, he doesn't look ready. He's unaware of situations. He's unaware of the speed of the game.
I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that part.
The sooner he plays,
I think he is ready.
Yes.
How would we
But
know that?
we have a veteran player that may be capable of giving us a little more time. So let's see if we can use that veteran player to give us a little more time to make sure that he's 100%.
All I know
ready.
is being an Ohio State fan and spending time and knowing Justin Fields, I've seen his ability to pick up the playbook. And I'm not saying there aren't major differences between college and the NFL, but I know his work ethic, and I know how he moves the locker room. I know how he connects with people. I'm not saying Andy Dalton doesn't do that. I just know the caliber of the person that he is.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.